Okay, yeah, so last vid, we talked about how I've gotten into art in the first place. Now we're gonna talk mainly how I kind of got more clients as I went, because I feel like that's one of the biggest, if not the most obvious hurdles when it comes to being a freelance artist. I got my first client simply by posting on Facebook that I would draw anything for $5. Back then, I didn't have a following at all. It's like 2-digit followings, maybe like 12, 13. I'm honestly surprised that my first client actually trusted me. Who knows, maybe they're listening to this. I was lucky enough that the commission was a little bit more kind of skeb. So the experience was super smooth. And also, yeah, they told me that my prices were pretty darn low. Yeah, eventually I got another client. At this point, I think it was a little bit easy for me to get clients because my prices are low, like I said. But yeah, as I go through every client, I try to increase my prices because they told me that it's definitely underpriced. The problem I had when I was at this phase was I realized my portfolio was very lacking, and whenever I would see client posts looking for artists, they're looking for something specific. I didn't have the portfolio to back up my art skills and show them that, yeah, I could do this for you. The problem with having little following is not that people aren't seeing you that much. The bigger problem for not having a big following and having a new account especially is reputation. You don't really have a reputation at all. Clients might hesitate to commission you because, you know, they're scared to get ghosted or scammed or whatever, which is completely fair, honestly. What I did to kind of bypass that was I offered free sketches. For example, a client would post something like, "Hi, I'm looking for an artist to do this and that for me," something specific. I would go to their comments, post one work of mine that is as much as possible related, even though if it's not really related. But then I would offer them, I'd make them a sketch for free. And if they like the sketch, only then we can like negotiate on a price. And if all negotiations go well, great, you have a deal. You can commission me. That was like my thing to get their trust and also for them to feel a little bit more secure in, you know, not just throwing money up front on a artist that has literally no reputation to back them up. And I found it to be a pretty darn effective way. I mean, I guess as long as you slap FREE, free, on your comment, I feel like that that definitely catches some attention. I think it stands out compared to most of the comments in those kind of posts, because most of the artists, especially beginner ones, they post there saying, "Oh, here's my portfolio, here's my pricing, here's my TOS," and it's just a wall of text. If I were at my client's shoes, man, I don't want to read that. And then there's me. I'm just, "Hi, I'm a beginner artist and I would like to do a free sketch for you. If you like it, you have a deal. If you don't, then you can walk away for free." So there's my very first tip. I think is very, very effective. But yeah, eventually, as you work on commissions and work with more clients and work on very different projects, you're eventually gonna diversify your portfolio. But now your portfolio is looking like a mixed bowl of whatever projects you could have taken. So now you're kind of lost. You don't really know what you're good at. I think it's at this point that I realized that I might need to specialize on something. When it comes to choosing what you would specialize on, I'd say choose something that you genuinely enjoy. And for me at that time, it was VTubers. This was like around the times when HoloLive was kinda new. And I was like, man, imagine drawing those illustrations for them. Imagine being paid to draw amazing illustrations for these amazing people behind these avatars. It made me think, okay, I'm gonna stop taking just whatever commission I could get, which I was having a pretty good time doing. Having a diverse arsenal of a portfolio, it's easy to get clients because there's a lot of clients that are looking for whatever project they want. And being flexible is good, it's great, but you're not gonna be special. So it was time to be a master of one. So yeah, I decided to target VTubers as my main targeted customers. How did I do this? Well, first of all, I had to curate my portfolio towards VTubers. Think what VTubers need and what can you provide for them. Yeah? In my case, I really enjoyed drawing illustrations of characters with backgrounds. What could you use that for?
Loading screens.
And so, loading screen became my #1 product. And it's sold really darn well. Make your drawings functional. In my case, I made it functional so that VTubers would have a use for it. I'm designing a service for a product specifically for VTubers to use. And it worked! I think it really worked. Ever since I did that, I was able to get more and more VTuber clients. I kind of started to build a better portfolio that is focused more on VTubers. And it's kind of amazing because the more your clients use your works, the more people and potential clients get to look at it. Imagine a VTuber that streams commissioned you for a loading screen and they use it as their loading screen every time they stream, and their friends see it, and then they're gonna send a DM to the said VTuber. They're gonna ask like, oh, who's this artist, blah blah blah, and then they can like recommend you to them. And that actually happens a lot. I guess this brings me to my third point. I guess this brings me to my third advice, which is to do your best. Treat that $10 commission as if it's $10,000. Do everything within your power to make your client satisfied, because a satisfied client talks. And word of mouth is probably the best thing to promote yourself, especially if you do not have an online presence. If you don't have followers, that's okay, but if you have clients vouching for you, boom, more clients. I think the maths now. So yeah, I think at this point, when I was like working with VTubers, I didn't even have a Twitter account. I only had Facebook. I had a Twitter account, but I was barely using it. So I mainly just got clients from Facebook, which is surprising. And most of my clients, I think, are from recommendations. They would always hit me in my DMs saying, oh, hi Peesh, this person, my friend, told me they commissioned you for this and that, and I would also like it, and blah blah blah. And then they would say good things about you, and they've heard good things about you. Do your best. Put everything in every illustration that they commission you. There are a couple specific things that I think work particularly well for me when working with clients, and that is providing a lot of sketches. When they commission you one thing, give them like 2, 3, 4 sketches. Never one. Spam sketches, man. Give them a lot of sketches. It doesn't matter if they don't decide to choose all of the sketches, but giving them the option to choose is a great thing to provide for your clients. There was a lot of instances when, although they were just trying to commission a single illustration, but after me showing like a couple of sketches to them, they were like, you know what, it's so hard to choose, let me just commission you for all of it. So, you know, more works, more money. More projects! You don't have to put a lot of effort in each and every one of them. Treat them as drafts. Maybe spend at most 30 minutes on each, so that, you know, you can spam 2 to 4 in like an hour or 2. Second tip, second advice. Try to avoid extra payments or extra fees. I have tried commissioning an artist before. Boy, I hate extra fees. Like, imagine you're in the midst of a project and you have already determined a price that you have negotiated upon, and then midst the project, for whatever reason, say that maybe the character is detailed, maybe there's some revisions, the artist would just say, by the way, I'm gonna add X number of dollars for this because, yeah, this and that, this and that. It just overall isn't a very great experience for me. I almost never ask for extra fees because it's a pain in the ass. Like, honestly, it's not even worth it to write an invoice just so that you can get like a extra couple bucks. Not worth it, man. I think it's always just better to simply say, hey man, I got you. I'll do it for free. It's just overall a smoother transaction if you do that. I think it's kind of better that you earn it just from your clients just tipping you, which happens a lot, by the way. I remember there was one time, one project in particular, that I got 100% tip. If I remember correctly, it was like $20 for an illustration at that point. So I got $40 for it, which is so satisfying. It's getting a tip from your client is probably one of the most satisfying things in life. It's so fulfilling to know that your client enjoyed what you provided them. And I still remember back in the day that for me that $20 was like so f***ing expensive. It was like for me, I felt bad asking for $20. And then they'd pay me $40? insane. Provide multiple sketches and also avoid extra fees. I think those are the two things that really worked well for me. Here's another one that is kinda obvious. At least for me, it was obvious. I hear a lot of clients complain about it. It's deadlines. Apparently, a lot of artists, they miss deadlines. There could be a lot of reasons for it. Sometimes burnout, sometimes because they have like other stuff going on. I would say, if you're in that situation, always make it clear to your client that you can't make a deadline. So if they provide you a project that has a specific deadline and you think you can't pull it off, then don't take it. Don't take it. It's better to miss that project than to have a client complain about receiving a project late. Because you have to respect people's time. If they have it scheduled for something like, say, an event, maybe a debut or maybe a launch of a certain product or a campaign, and you miss the deadline, a lot of things will be pushed back. And that doesn't just inconvenience your client, but also a bunch of people working with them. So always stick to the deadline. Don't take projects that you don't think you can pull off within a specific agreed upon time. Try to be professional. Not in the sense that you're gonna be like super stiff, that you're like speaking in a very corporate manner, that you're like, "Oh, good morning, sir. I would like to inform you that I am now proceeding to the sketch phase." No, man, you don't need to do that. Honestly, I highly recommend being friendly and being loose when it comes to talking to clients. You don't have to be over professional. It just makes the whole client and artist experience a lot more fun if you make friends with your clients. I would like to think that I am friends with a lot of my clients. Hi clients, if you're watching this, we're friends, right? Right? It's just an overall fun time if you make friends with your clients. There's this tactic that a friend of mine has kind of introduced to me. I didn't really use this, but I feel like it's kind of genius, so I might as well share. They told me they have this tactic they call it the ampon tactic. Ampon is just Tagalog of adopting, like adopting a child. My mother language, by the way. It's kind of a thing in the VTuber sphere where if you drew the model of a VTuber, then you're gonna be the VTuber's mama. And if you rigged the VTuber model, then you're gonna be the VTuber papa. The ampon maneuver basically is just drawing a VTuber model for free for a VTuber that perhaps you enjoy watching. Like, say for example, you're watching a specific VTuber and you think that you can make a VTuber model that could improve their current VTuber model. Like, say for example, they're using pre-made models or maybe like models that you can just customize or buy so that you can use it on stream. And you decide to like make them a custom model for free. The goal of this tactic, because it's a free model, they'd probably be more than happy to use it, and you basically get free promotion because, you know, a VTuber is using a model that you made and they're probably gonna credit you. I think this could be very effective, especially if it's your first time making a model, which by the way also applies for other stuff, like say emotes or maybe a chibi model or maybe rigging or a loading screen or a stream background. And it's a win-win, you know? You get to support a VTuber you like and you get free promotion and potentially more clients. Hi, I'm supposed to summarize the points I made here, but I'm lazy, so I'll just yap a bit more. We originally planned this video in more of an informative format, but I didn't quite like it. I came to realize that I much prefer just yapping about my experience while trying to talk about and emphasize what I learned during those times. I feel like it's more of a personal and interesting way to communicate things. Besides, in this age of information, you can probably just easily look up what you want to know and have an AI explain it to you. I really hope you all find this helpful and entertaining at the same time. If you are an artist yourself, I'd love to hear about your experience as well, so tell me about it in the comments below. I'll be talking more about freelancing in the next video, so if you could, you know, maybe subscribe, please.